Okay. My screen, my camera's a little blurry. I don't know why. It's raining really hard outside, but that's not what I want to talk about. I am sick and fucking tired. Really, really tired of seeing so much bullshit in the media. Listen to this. Just listen to me. Shut up. Stop shaking your head. Just listen to me. I'm going to say this one more time. If a nation, if a world, and I mean a world, is run by one rich family and they are Satanists, the whole world is going to be encouraged to be Satanists. Why is this so hard for people to believe? Lots of things in the world right now are related to Satan. They're happening and they're related to Satanism or Luciferium or whatever you call it. And people, everyone in the world all the paranoid religious people are so fucking paranoid right now. And even my friend, you know who you are, I don't care. I'm saying my friend in this video. Who cares? Nothing's gonna happen. I mean, I grew up seeing Jack. I made a name for him. I grew up always seeing this demon. I didn't see him in pure sight, but I would always see this character in my head, and I thought he was a demon. Even since I was adult, I was able to draw him, and I thought he was a demon. He was like, there were two. There was my good, bad, and my bad side. Good side, bad side. And I would make cartoons about him, but I didn't fucking say, I need Jesus, I need God, I need to be forgiven. I didn't do that. My whole entire life, I was so anti-God, just naturally. I hated God, just naturally. And that's why I saw myself as a demon, but I was so atheist, I didn't. And then as I got older, I just said, fuck it, I'm not even going to be atheist. I'm not going to be anything. I'm not going to label myself. I'm nothing. I know that sounds bad, but I'm just not a religion. Some of the phrases from Buddhism I like, but I'm not a Buddhist. Got it? So when I see all this religious bullshit in the media, you know what? When I see a naked guy, that's saying the demon is inside of him, how can you explain that? I can explain that by saying the government made a drug that they're testing out. They got a random guy who doesn't really have a life, and they put the drug in him just to see what will happen because they're testing it. Just like that first drug that they gave to someone on the highway, and he had ate someone. He tried to eat someone. It was bath salts, if you remember that. You can look it up on YouTube. And that happened. So these five, I think there's been five, except that one weird one my friend showed me about the Uber one. I can't explain that. I really can't. Maybe it was mind control in some way, it was subliminal. There's a reason behind everything, and some people say there isn't a reason behind everything. But there is a reason behind everything. The people who say things just happen because they happen are retarded. I'm sorry. They are. Nothing happens because it just happens. Things happen because people make those things happen. I just watched a YouTube video of people going to an underground thing to worship a $100,000 statue of Satan. Why? Everyone, since they put Satan so much in the fucking media now. It's in shows. The Illuminati is in so many cartoons now. It was in SpongeBob in the early 2000s. There was an episode, and there are more now. But they're in every cartoon. They're in TV shows. They're in everything. They're in commercials. everything, everything. So it's not unlikely that, oh, sorry, that was a weird word, that people are going to be worshiping the devil. Like, but is the devil going to actually come back? No. The Bible is a book written by a guy who got a story from God. He got the story from God when no one else saw him. No one else saw God. I could say, I got a story from Satan, but no one saw me do it. But it's the right story. It's legit. I swear. Because he told me. He completely told me. I fucking swear. Based on a true story. It's that easy to fuck with people. And then the New Testament comes out. That's how I knew it was bullshit. Because the Old Testament, which was the original one, was so weird, so fucked up that people just couldn't deal with it. It was weird. It was like there was a lot of murder, rape. It was just, that's how the Bible was in the Old Testament. So that was just too abrupt. So they made the New Testament. And guess who that was made by? A guy, a random guy. That's why I don't trust religion, because it's just made by someone's view, and it has a lot of subliminal shit in it. It's got a lot of happy shit that can relate to people, and all of it is written in a code kind of way where you can interpret it in your own way. See, the book I am writing, it has some things from the Bible, but in different way. I didn't write it exactly from the Bible. I wrote positive things and I wrote negative things so people can interpret it any way they want, but I didn't write it in that fucking annoying thou shall not eat the Rice Krispie treats. I didn't write it in those retarded ways that are in the Bible. I didn't do that. I made it human writing, but I wrote it in code. I wrote the letters really small. I wanted to make it fun for people. And some of the pages, I'm going to make it so people can color in those pages and use their imagination. This book is for people to use their imagination, but I just know people will fight over it. But you know what that does? It makes more people buy it. Christianity is one of the highest consumerism things in America, and yet Christians still don't notice that somehow. They just see it as they read parts from the Bible and they say, hey, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Why? Because a guy wrote it and he knows that you can relate to it. He knows, and then he'll say, oh, I can profit off that. And then Christians just like say, well, your religion doesn't comply with my religion, so we have to fight and we have to argue, and all this bullshit has to happen, because that's what religion does. It makes arguments and wars happen. But what the main point of this video is the reason there's so much Satanism going on in the world is because the world is run by Satanists, the Rothschilds. So why is it a surprise? Why all these Christians in this YouTube video were like, you're going to be hurt when God comes down and saves all of us, or God's going to come down and punish you, or we're going to all be saved when we go up to heaven. Like, really? Because this has happened so many times. The only times that this has happened is in a book that you read. There's no proof that this has ever happened. You read it in a book. I could get a like I always say this to people, I could get a Dr. Seuss book and say, this has happened in the past. This has happened. This is going to happen. Because it's in a Dr. Seuss book. You can get any book and say any of that happened or it's going to happen. It's called lying. It's called making shit up. I hate to crush your dreams. Deal with reality. I hate saying this to people, but really, I know people have demons in their lives. And Christianity has helped those demons for people, and that's good. If that helps you, good. But just don't put it on other people, because other people are just... I mean, I grew up in a completely atheist family, but that's not what made me atheist. I've just naturally been, and I don't like calling myself, I have just naturally been more satanic. I would just want to say that. I'm just not religious. It's a weird way of thinking. I have grown up seeing the devil like naturally. And then Christians will tell you, well, the devil's inside of you. God will get the devil out of you. I don't mind having it in me. I've had it in me for so long that I've gotten used to it. And I don't mind it being there. It's pretty much another side of me. And I've dealt with it. I've dealt with it. It's a bad thing, but it's there. And I've learned to deal with it. And Christians will say, well, we can get rid of it, but you're not really getting rid of it. Faith, all faith is, and I pray my friend doesn't watch this. I pray. I hope my friend doesn't watch this because he's Christian. But, and, Christianity makes other people not think about their problems in their past. Their past problems, most, like 95% of Christians become Christian because they have had a bad experience in their life, or they are having a bad experience in their life, and they need some way to escape. They need some way, they need someone to look up to get out of their bad feeling, or the bad things they've done, or the bad feelings they have. So they look up to something or someone or an identity that can fix them. And then they feel that they've been fixed. It's a psychological, neurological thing. Just like being hypnotized, it's the same thing. They have, what's it called? Deprogramming. It's called deprogramming in brainwashing. No, in NLP it's called deprogramming, and they do it to Christian people. And it's where they completely do hypnosis or brainwashing, where they give you subliminal messages, and they do it for a while, over time, to get rid of what you have been brainwashed with in church, because pastors use NLP on the people who go to church to get them to keep coming, to get them to donate, to get money from them. Church Christianity, some churches, and I mean this, some churches really are about helping people. They don't want money. They just want to help people. They are true Christians. They care about helping them. They are true to their God, and they mean it. But I'm going to give a number. People like it when you give numbers. 70% of the churches in America are for profit. I was told this as a kid and as an adult. Churches are places where you can go to pray to God. And the Bible says God is everywhere. And if God is everywhere, you don't need a church to talk to Him. I could pray right now and I could talk to Him, because you don't need a church. And my grandma said churches are holy places to talk to Jesus and God, but you don't need it. Churches are just places to meet other people and socialize with other people that are Christian. That's all they are. Oh, you like God? I like God. Hey, you donate money? I donate money. We're good people. Hey, our church is doing this thing. Oh, really? My church is doing this thing. We should be friends. Hey, there's a youth group. It's just like, you guys can be friends outside of the church. And they do that. But really, just meet these people outside of a church. The most aspect of a church is just to meet people that are like you. That's the whole point of a church. It's pretty much paying to be a part of a club, that you meet people that are like you, and then you can just hang out with them as friends. That's all it is. South Park even made fun of this. South Park made fun of the DMV, and Butters became a pretty much a pastor and making people happy in the DMV, because no one's happy in the DMV. So it was pretty much, he was making fun of a church. And he was telling everyone how it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And he was reading the DMV pamphlets to everyone. And it was like it was making fun of Christianity. It was great. Because no other shows do that. South Park dares to what I do. South Park dares to make fun of things that all the other shows are either paid by Illuminati to not make fun of anything, or are afraid to make fun of anything because they're afraid the Illuminati will take the show down. Or South Park is just not afraid to do anything. They're brave, and I admire that. And anyone who says South Park isn't a good show is retarded, because South Park is an intelligent show. They make fun of obvious things in society, like how they made fun of Cartman buying a basketball team, and he dressed like a slave owner, because all the basketball teams are white guys buying out basketball teams of black guys. So it's like a slavery thing. It seriously is. And all it is slavery, but the white guys are paying the black guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. So South Park makes fun of little things like that. They do such a great job. They do. That's all I'm saying. But the main point of this video from the start was that I don't hate Christians. I actually have Christian friends. I admire the Christians that help people just to help people. I actually have a friend, and I'll say it's a she, and I'll say she's very cute, very beautiful, and she's very thin. You know who you are, and you have ginger hair? I think you have ginger hair. You know who you are. Your name starts with an M, and it ends with a Y. You're very hot. And I know you smiled at that, and then you rolled your eyes. The reason I wouldn't date you is because you wanted me to become Christian so bad. You kept telling me I wouldn't be a good parent unless I was Christian. You are one of the people who needs to be deprogrammed, because you've gone to the church to get help because you had problems in your family life. So you got brainwashed at the church. People seriously do get brainwashed at the church. And the easiest people that get brainwashed at the church are the people who not are weak, but are vulnerable. Churches pick the people who have the most problems in their life, and they say, come to us, we will fix you, God is here for you. And they do that, and it works on them. And then after a while, they get comfortable at that church, and they feel accepted. They feel accepted by a group of people who care about them. And that's the thing with Christians. It's just like, well, would you like me if I wasn't? Oh, sorry, I'm tired. If I wasn't Christian, it's just, I mean, I hung out with her Christian friends because I really wanted to date her. I really liked her. And when I meet a girl, I like her emotionally. I don't like her for sex. I'm a weird guy. Yeah, I like a girl emotionally. I pick a girl that I find attractive for her personality, not for her for sex. Yeah, personality is number one. I would have dated Mary. Oh, I said her name. Fuck. Oh well, who fucking cares? She'll never see this video. And if she does, she'll probably hate me more because I mentioned Satan in this video. And who cares? She will like this though. When I first met her, she drew me a tree and it had all the things of God, and she tried to fix me. Every Christian girl I meet who's really cute always tries to fix me, but they never will. Girls like a challenge. Girls don't like a guy who will kiss their ass all the time and be like, oh, you fixed me, I'll follow right behind you, I'll kiss your ass all the time, I'm your best friend. No, they don't like guys like that. No, they like guys who will argue with them, who will talk to them, who won't always just agree with them. They'll want to have an actual conversation. You'll say no to them. You won't agree with them all the time. They want a guy who's, I don't like saying an alpha male, or you sound like a douchebag when you say that, but really, girls want an alpha male. They don't want a douchey little thing that is a douche. And I mean a nerd. I can describe this nerd I saw on the street, and I really don't like, because I was a real big dick in junior high, and I try not to be, I really do. But when I see a person like this, oh God, I wanted to push this kid over really bad. He had his shorts pulled all the way up to, no, well, not his shorts, his trousers. I want to say trousers. He was a like high school kid or something. He had buck teeth, big ass glasses. You know the ones like Bubbles has on Trailer Park Boys. Look that up. He had buck teeth. He had pimples all over his face. He was fat. He had, you know those extension things that Bob the Builder has? Trousers, I'll say. And his pants, his jean pants, they were overalls, that's what it is. They went up to his belly, above his belly button. And he wasn't mentally challenged in any way. I could tell. I can tell with these things. I get along so well with people with autism because I have high functioning autism, if you didn't know that. This kid was perfectly normal. He was just a huge, not to be rude, huge dork. And not in the good way. Not in like, not even in the fanime kind of dork. Just the extremely, you would talk to him and he would have no personality. He would just be like, let's do some math together. There were some dudes, when I was with my friend, we went to GameStop. And the two dudes working there, I just wanted to fucking kill. Is that too abrupt? The first guy was all just like, I talked to him, and then I made a joke, because there was a creeper doll there, if you know what a creeper from Minecraft is, and it was shaped like a dick. It was totally a dick. So I grabbed it, I started doing this to it, and the guy's like, with this face, please don't do that. Don't call it a dick. That kind of kid in junior high, I would follow around and pick on all day long. I would harass, no doubt. The people, those kids, those guys in college that I would sit in a group of the weird kids, just because my friend, a different friend, would always hang around the weird kids. And there would always be this one fucking kid, this one douchebag who would have black hair. He would be really quiet, and he would always try to be that douchey, cool kid that just goes, yeah? What? I don't do that. That's what everyone else does. I mean, I'm a nonconformist, but it's always that really fucking douchey nonconformist. He would have like really dark clothes on, but he'd have a fucking cane or something that would be like golden, or he'd be like really emo hair. It's just that really weird kid that you just want to beat the shit out of because he's just so fucking cool. I mean, he's the king of the weird ass kids that that just had sex with all the fat girls in high school and just fucked all the pimple-faced girls. You know what I mean? You know that kid from high school. You know that person. And if you're in high school, you definitely know that person. Even if you've been around the weird band kids, they're like below the band kids. There are the band kids that I was friends with. I had a lot of friends that were band kids. And then I had some friends that were below the band kids that were weird, but they weren't super weird. Like, it seriously went this. It went, I don't know which one was first. It went, like, the stoners. Then it went the band kids. Then it went the fucking weird kids who picked their noses and ate it. Those kind of kids. And those were the kids that were just the weird ones. And that's where that douchey, weird, kid, cool guy falls in. That guy. Oh my god, that guy. There was one guy in high school, and he was my best friend's friend, and I would always pick on him. I didn't pick on him. I didn't bully him. I just constantly made fun of him. I mean, I was nice to everyone in high school, but I had like, since my rising sign is Leo, I have like alpha male syndrome if anyone shows me attention. That guy, I won't say his name, but that guy would never talk. He would just be like, he was the gayest looking guy. That's not why I actually get along with gay guys, but he was like the most metrosexual. That's the best way to put it. He would walk around with this beautiful face and just go, wouldn't say anything, and I would try to say, oh hey, and he'd be like, hi. And I'd be like, are you deaf? And then I'd go like this in front of his face. I'm like, are you alive? Are you alive? And I'd go like, and then he'd just go. He didn't have any disabilities. He was just like nothing. Nothing. And I get along with Pisces. I didn't know he was a Pisces until after high school ended. He was a year and a half younger than me. That doesn't really make any difference. Still to this day, he's the same exact way. I'm nice to him. I try to be super nice to anyone I was mean to in high school. And I was mean to a lot of people. Like, I wasn't mean. I was just extremely in your face annoying. Because I didn't really give a fuck if I annoyed people. I was just different. I was always, I don't care if I'm not like everyone else. I was never in that group of below the band kids. I was pretty much in a mix. I was in the middle of stoners and band kids. That's who I was. And then when I had to be in normal classes around the regular kids, I would harass the fuck out of the regular kids, and they just did not know what was wrong with me. I even came to class high, like, a lot of times, and they knew it, and I would just harass the shit out of them. Sometimes I would just ask really weird, and my teacher would just be like, he's a high school kid. Who cares if he's high? So, there was this one kid, I forgot, what was the fuck his name? I went to a rich high school, and I was not rich. So there were a lot of glamour-looking kids. There was one steroid kind of guy who was really quiet. I mean, he was fucking huge. He was really nice, but everyone thought he was on steroids. Everyone asked. He wasn't on steroids. But there was one tall. Whenever I came to class high, there was one extremely pretty Asian guy. Like, he looked like a girl. And I was friends with his girlfriend. Like, not in a sexual way or anything. And I would always, if I was really, really fucking stoned, I would hit on him. Because he was fucking pretty. His name was Jeremy. I'm not afraid to admit that. He looked like a gay ninja. That's a good way to explain him. I don't know if he's on Facebook. Probably. His girlfriend was, I give her a 4. She was basic looking. I liked his girlfriend's friend a little bit. I give her a 5. I saw her in San Francisco like one time when I was visiting my sister. She's not much to look at, really. So I'm going to end it here. Now that you've known my life, bye.